me tell you the Pokemon. So I started with a Totodile called Rosanna.
Rosanna!
By Toto.
Hello, you delicious people, and welcome to episode 4 of Video Games Ahoy. My name is Jonathan Radford, and I'm once again joined by Dav Gape.
Hello.
And Zach Hamilton.
Hello.
How are you doing, fellas?
Good. Did you forget Zach's name for a second?
No.
Felt like you forgot Zach's name.
Almost
I wasn't
forgot
going to say anything,
Zach
but
Hamilton. Wow. Every time I say Zach's name, it makes me want to say, sing the song Hamilton. Every single time.
Oh, would you know my brother's middle names are Alexander Hamilton. He's Daniel. I shouldn't be saying his full name. We'll just bleep that out.
I'm going to look him up.
His middle names are Alexander Hamilton, and he doesn't know why that's cool, because he
just doesn't get it.
Works for the government. So
yeah, Alexander Hamilton is not a political name in any way.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Don't be silly. Come on.
There are no politics involved.
It's a musical.
It's not real.
Yeah.
It's not.
Dancing and singing and rapping. Lads, we it's a good time to celebrate the podcast. We have not one but 2 new patrons, and not only that, but one of them has decided to become a VIP crew member. VIP, exactly. I'm not even there.
Wicked.
I'm not even there.
Can we get a small round of applause for the VIP? A golf clap.
Yes. So to David, our new VIP crew member, and to the delightful Anne, on behalf of Video Games Ahoy, welcome aboard, mateys!
Welcome aboard.
And thank you for your generosity. I think that's awesome. That's
thank
very,
you very
kind.
much.
Two new patrons to the channel. If you would like to support us, then please go ahead and check out our Patreon page, Video Games Ahoy. You can pay £1, £5, £10, or even an amount of your choosing if you so wish.
Above or below.
Yeah.
You can give us a penny. I think you can give us a penny.
I don't actually know. Maybe try.
Give us a penny.
Maybe try. And as ever, if you don't want to or can't, then that's absolutely fine. We appreciate you tuning in and showing your support regardless. So thank you very much there. As well as Patreon, you can find us on the usual websites like Twitter and Facebook. And if you want to see 3 ghastly faces flap their gums like old-timey prospectors, then make sure you check us out on YouTube. Dagnabbit. Yeah. Right, that's enough of that. Video games. That's why we're here. That's why you are here. Shall we talk them?
Yes.
Let's talk your video games.
Let's. Now, last week we briefly discussed the guilt felt at not playing certain games. Dav, we are looking at you. So this week I thought we should talk about the opposite. And by that I mean guilty pleasure games. So gents, tell us, tell the world, which game or games would you consider to be your biggest guilty pleasure? Should we start with Zach?
Do you know what? I forgot we were doing this. I had one last night in my mind that I was thinking I really wanted to talk about, and I can't think of what it was. So I'm going to talk about the really obvious one that I hate myself for playing as much as I do. Because do I? Yeah, I do. I play Fortnite because I'm 5.
Oh, yeah, you do play Fortnite. You do.
I do, and I know honestly. The main reason,
Are you good at it, though?
No, I'm not. I'm not even good at it.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
But so the main reason,
let
let me defend myself as to why I'm playing it. A big part of the reason was because my friends from home, who I don't always get to see, we sometimes play games a lot together, and particularly during lockdown, we for a while were playing like every day. But there aren't that many. They're all on Xbox, and I'm on PlayStation, and there aren't that many games that do cross-platform.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm usually at the moment I am paying a subscription for PlayStation, but normally I'm not, because normally I'm broke. And I'm still broke, but I'm still paying for it because I don't care. And so it was just one of those games that I could play with them, which is really nice. And then we kind of started to get so I'm not good at the actual playing, but we are as a team quite good at, because we're good friends, we're quite good at communicating and getting people to do the right things. And that's really fun. Actually, that's something I've really missed about playing online games with people I know really well. because playing online games with whoever is awesome. Like, it's such a cool thing that you can play games. I don't have to explain why that's good, but it is really nice when you know someone well enough that you can communicate and organize. And to be fair to Fortnite, it is quite a good game for that, in the way that all battle royales are basically pretty good at that. And funnily enough, I did have a go at some other battle royales, and either they've been like, everyone's too good, typical multiplayer stuff, and I just can't be bothered. I don't want to get that good at a competitive game, really.
Who's got the time?
Who's got the time? There are a couple games I would do it with, but not that. So I think that's my biggest guilty pleasure. I totally forgot we were talking about this today.
I think the reason why you feel like it's a guilty pleasure is because you think of yourself as a true gamer, and true gamers spend their time playing true games. Yeah. Whereas because millions of people enjoy Fortnite, you feel like you can't. Yeah. But I'm here to tell you, Zach, you can.
Yeah.
Well, that's partly. I also kind of feel like that is a big part of it. I'll give you that. I think the other thing is a big part of it is it is balanced in such a way that you don't have to be that good in order to enjoy it, which is part of what makes it so good. That's sort of why it's so popular and stuff. But it also makes me feel like I'm playing. I'm a dumb who can't control things. Surely I should be more sophisticated, having played games.
But then, in all fairness, it is also free, and from what I've read about,
it's really fun.
Yeah, from what I've read about it especially recently in the last year or so, it has really become quite good. Like, from what I've heard about it, is fun to play, and I think fundamentally, just. Anyway, I think that's what it's about. Exactly. I'll add some laughs in there.
Yeah, canned laughter.
Just
like,
woo! Cut a laugh from you.
Yeah, you're great, John. But
so just cut all of that and put it in.
Yeah, exactly. But no,
at the same time, it's sort of the same way that Mario Kart works. You know what I mean? Like, it's got that it's very well balanced, so that you don't have to be all that good to feel like you're taking part and you're in a competition.
Yeah.
And I don't think of Mario Kart as a guilty pleasure. So you're right. A big part of the reason I feel like it's a guilty pleasure is because I'm snooty.
Well, yeah, you are.
But that's okay. It's okay to be snooty. Someone has to be.
This guy.
We've decided it must be you.
It's gonna be me. I'll be that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least you play Fortnite.
To be fair, I one of my favorite things about Fortnite is just the story of, I read on Twitter ages ago about some woman going into like game or something like that and asking for fork knife for her son, and I just thought that was hilarious.
Knife.
Yeah. I just thought
that's really cute. I want to play fork
knife. Can I get fork knife for my son? I just thought that was really fun. I just thought,
wow,
that's really funny. Every time I hear it now, I'm just like, oh, fork knife. It's just so silly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's like it makes me think of that Nintendo Land game with the little Animal Crossing. Did you ever play that?
No, was it on the Wii U?
It was on the Wii U. You didn't play the Wii U.
Yeah, I didn't play the Wii U.
You would like that game.
Yeah,
Nintendo Land's good. I'm going to talk about it one day.
I heard about Nintendo Land. A lot of people have said they wished it came to the Switch.
It's great.
So I'm surprised it hasn't, especially because they've ported pretty much everything else.
I'm sure it'll come.
Yeah,
it'll come.
Yeah. How about you, Dav? What about you? Guilty pleasure?
So originally I thought it was guilty pleasures in gaming as opposed to guilty pleasure games. So I was going to talk about the fact that I pretty much always look at howlongtobeat.com before I play a game.
Oh, really? No, do you know what? I do the same.
That's fair enough.
I do the same.
But it could be any game, but the thing is, the shorter the better.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, even if two games are the same price, I might go for the one that is half the length. That is not the popular opinion these days.
That
is not the way people usually think, and I admire that.
I got shit to do.
Yeah.
I got shit to do.
And the other thing is, some of these games are marking themselves as, we're a big game and therefore we're a good game, which is we know is not true.
That just
and also
anytime someone's like, this world is huge, I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah, I'm never gonna see it all. I can't bother to go around it.
Yeah, and it's things like we've said before, especially about Assassin's Creed. A lot of the time, there's things in those games which don't need to be in there. Like in Assassin's Creed, you have to go and find things, but they're just so easily found on the map. You're just walking to them, picking them up, and that's it. It's kind of like there's nothing interesting involved.
I'm
it
not
could have not been
adventuring
there.
here. You're just telling me where to go, and I'm
it's,
going there.
it's not adding
I'm a
anything to
child.
the game other than just padding. So
and that can be good, but it needs to be done in a way that invites you and like rewards you for doing stuff. Not like find 100 feathers and you'll unlock this outfit. It's like by the time I've got 100 feathers, I won't need an outfit. I'll be ready to move on to the next game.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it's the one thing about the Breath of the Wild. I
knew you were going to talk about Breath
No,
of the Wild.
but I didn't care about Korok seeds. I just didn't care about them.
It has been one day since Jonathan has talked about Zelda.
And then someone comes over, takes the one.
Yeah. No, but see, it's very much like that. I found them when I saw them, and if I could see them, great. But I never searched them because I was just like, oh, better things.
But I think that was the design of the game.
Yeah,
it was like you go from here to here. Along the way, you'll find that's fun, but you're still going there.
Yeah.
You're not going. I need to find all of the 900 odd Korok seeds. Like that's why there's 900 of them. Because the intention wasn't 100%. The intention was to have something somewhere everywhere you go.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way of looking at it, because I always felt frustrated that I couldn't get all the Korok seeds, because I was like, oh, I want to complete this game, but it's I'm never going to do that.
No,
but I guess that's not really the point, except for if you're someone who really, really... I mean, to be fair, I could totally see a situation where I'd be that person that loves that game enough and also enjoys a collectathon. I mostly don't enjoy collectathons with some exceptions.
Yeah, I don't.
But I do have a guilty pleasure game.
Go.
And that is the franchise made by Sports Interactive, Football Manager.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be this.
Okay.
Oh, baby, do I play a lot of Football Manager. And not as much as some people. Some people go even crazier than me. But, so Football Manager 19, I only recently stopped playing, maybe 2 weeks ago. I felt I got to a point where I could go, I have made it all I can make in this world. It is time to move on. And that was after 364 hours.
Wow.
And the fun thing about Football Manager is that the more hours you put into one save file, you get different addictedness ratings. So, like, it starts like at a certain point. It's just like something like how many times can I wear the same amount of underwear? Like, it's amusing and it's quite daunting, and it makes me realize that I play that game too much. But and this is another guilty pleasure, is that I don't just play it. I can play two things at the same time.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll play Football Manager while playing Fire Emblem.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's what I was gonna say. It's one of those games where you can do two. It can be on in the background. And you're still doing it. You can accumulate a lot of hours just having it there.
Or I'll watch TV while playing Football Manager, and I feel like guilty for not putting my attention into the TV. But then I make sure I watch TV that it's okay, that I can just not focus on you. You're not quite good enough for me, for my whole attention. But yeah, it's I love it. And Football Manager 20 is on Game Pass. I'm really trying to resist chasing the dragon, but my god, it's so tempting just to go boop, download and then start a new one. I tell you what, my life as a Stoke City manager, quite turbulent. Quite turbulent.
Yeah.
Started off with Stoke City, who were predicted 23rd of the Championship, ended up losing the semi-final of the World Cup with France. What a journey.
That's a journey. That is a journey.
Mate, it feels...
Who did you lose to in the
and
semis?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, fair enough. I was gonna say,
we don't like to talk about our semis.
Yeah, no one talks.
I wish we were semi.
Jonny, your face. You look so unhappy with that joke.
No, I was
just like, oh, this again.
What is it? Has it been 10 minutes?
Takes off the 0 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
Since nonsense.
Yeah. But yeah, Football Manager. What about you?
I don't know. It's pretty much the same thing, except mine is Pro Evo. So it is a sports game. I'm not. It's not a guilty pleasure in the fact that I play a sports game. I think it's more of a guilty pleasure that I don't admit to myself how much I play it. I think that's the issue. I think it's more like, I play it like maybe once or twice a week, and I'm like, no, I pretty much play it every day.
Have you played this today?
Yeah. But it's because it's one of those things where, because matches are, it takes 15 minutes to do a match. It's just it's so easy to just dip in and out. Like, I'll play 2 games, 3 games, whatever, and I'm done. So it's not like I play it for I couldn't play it for longer than, say, I don't know, maybe 2 hours. After that, I just be like, no, it's But it is one of those things where I dip in and out so often. But yeah, I started playing in the old days, like 2001 International Super Soccer, those old days. And I remember having the first game and I've always preferred it to FIFA. And I've never liked FIFA.
I've always been a FIFA boy.
No, I get it, and I get the mass appeal of FIFA as well.
No, Johnny, I've always been a FIFA boy.
I'm trying to convert you, Dad. God, but
well, I have a question for both of you. Do either of you play football?
I used to. I used to. Yeah, I used to. Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, everyone's always like, come play FIFA, and I'm like, I don't know how football works. I don't understand. Honestly, frankly, the problem for me is I don't understand how you can kick a ball and run at the same time. Those seem like opposing ideas. But
stand on one foot, kick with the other.
That seems like a lot of coordination. But so I was interested because I thought maybe one of you might be like, I've never played football but like the games.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of people like that.
Yeah. I think
especially people who maybe aren't physically able to play football.
Yeah.
Maybe find their escapism through FIFA, Football Manager, and the rest.
Yeah,
and Pro Evo.
Yeah.
But no, I think but it's interesting though, because like the thing I always found with Pro Evo compared to FIFA is just the way you can play different styles. And the best example I've got is about 10 years ago. This is how long I've been playing it. 10 years ago, me and my friend, it was when Barcelona were at their peak, and you play the Barcelona way, it's like really sexy, quick passing, everything moving. And Stoke, funny you should mention them, with a long ball, hits up to Peter Crouch.
Try and beat Stoke City on a rainy Wednesday night.
We did that. So basically, me and my friend were Stoke, and we played two of my other friends who were Barcelona, and we beat them 2-0 playing the Stoke way, just like kicking the ball up to the top. Crouchy heading it out.
You might say he's the best player in the world, but put him in Stoke on a Wednesday night in the middle of the rain.
They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it on a Tuesday night.
That's like a popular thing. Whenever anyone's like, "Oh, Messi, best player in the world," like, yeah, well,
but could he do it on a Tuesday?
Can you do it? Can you do it here? Could he do it here? I don't think you could. Premier League's best league in the world.
I mean, we're not going to get into sport, but at the same time, I always do find that really funny because for me, he's the greatest player of all time.
I miss sports.
Yeah, me too.
I really hope that there's some people watching the YouTube video of this, because you've got the two of you talking about football and me looking like, honestly, I don't know what is. Yeah, Stoke City when it's raining. Ooh.
Go Stokes. Go the Stokes.
Go ball.
Yeah.
Go gadget ball.
Go football.
The Potters.
Sports.
But yeah, that was I do love PES, and I also love PES as well for another reason, because they never had licenses when I was growing up, so you'd always have like the best players in the world, like so obviously I play as Wales, and like Simon Davis would be like Simon Damies, and it's just I always thought it was really funny they'd come up with these obvious names for like some of the world's best footballers, and it'd be like Ronaldinho will be Nalderino or something ridiculous like that. It's just I don't know how they were able to get away with it, but
and the teams were like Mersey Red,
Merseyside Red,
like
Merseyside Blue,
Liverpool and Everton.
I think Cardiff were South Wales Reds, which must have annoyed loads of Cardiff fans because they hated the fact that they played in red. Yeah. But again, this isn't about sports. This is about Pro Evo. But yeah, that's my guilty pleasure. That's my guilty pleasure. Pro Evo. So guys, enough about sports. Should we move on? What have you been playing, Zach?
Oh man. So this week I started getting back into. I started doing this a little while ago. I'm finally going to talk about it. In fact, I'm going to change my background for it.
Oh, is it Uncharted?
Finally. Was it Uncharted? Do you think I can get back into that? It's not happening.
Did you not finish it?
Honestly, I can't bear it. Like, the only reason that I want to finish it is so that I can talk about it here again. But I just don't want to do it.
I'm really excited for the day that happens. Just because.
How far did you get?
I'm still. I don't even think I've touched it since last week. I'm going to change my background. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't like it.
Oh, yes.
But talking of the same engine...
Same people.
The Last of Us?
Same people. Same engine. Sorry, same people is what I really mean.
Yeah.
It's baffling. It's chalk and cheese.
Yeah,
The Last of Us and Uncharted. I don't even know... I've only played the first Uncharted, and that was a long time before The Last of Us. And this is not my first time playing The Last of Us. Actually, what I wanted to talk about was speedrunning The Last of Us, which is something I've started... doing.
I've got a feeling Dad's going to say something.
I haven't played The Last of Us.
Yeah, and I feel that's what it's going to be. yeah, and I feel that's what it's going to be. But you haven't got a PS. You didn't have a PS3, and you haven't got a PS4 with you.
No, but there's PS now on PC. So
it's like
2 weeks in a row, Dav. You've upset Zach.
No, to be fair, I didn't have a PlayStation when it came out. I didn't play it for a few years after.
Me too.
It's a recent game. It's not. It's not like. It's not the same as not having played Ocarina, only because Ocarina is so like broad. It's like one of those ones that everyone's played, you know.
Yeah.
So
sorry, speedrunning. You were saying
right? So I've played it a bunch of times, and I'm actually. Do you know what? Actually, I'm kind of pleased you haven't played it because I think it's probably my favorite game, and I think everyone should play it. It probably doesn't hold up as well as it did when I played it in 2015, but it's really good.
Is that the remastered one on PS4?
Yes, yeah. I'm playing the remastered. So the main reason I'm playing it again, doing the speedrunning, is because Last of Us 2 is coming out, and I think we're going to maybe mention some of the stuff about that.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited. It's just going to be the best day when it comes out.
Yeah.
And I played the game a bunch of times, but I started watching a guy called Anthony Caliber, which you can check out on Twitch, who has all the world records for beating the game. And the main thing was actually originally I started trying to play the game on a super hard mode with no reticle to see if it was possible.
Ooh.
And that turned out not to be very hard.
Yeah.
Way easier than I thought. Once you get into it, and it kind of feels more. In fact, I would recommend it's worth a playthrough doing that if anyone hasn't, because it makes it very tense and very realistic, quote unquote realistic. Not a very good word, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so after that, I was like, well, the only harder thing I could do was a speed run on the hardest difficulty, and it's not really hard in the way that the game is hard the first time, because basically you're just having to repeat sections over and over again until you get the routine right. It's like, okay, shoot that guy, hide, throw a whatever, move over to here. You know what I mean? It's very like, and that's not all that interesting, but it is quite satisfying to get right. And basically all I'm doing is I'm just watching what that guy does and trying to recreate it, and also trying to see if there's anything that I can do differently, which is I'm never ever going to be doing world record speed running, but it is really fun if you have any game. I think it's really good for anyone who's listening. If there's a game that you really love but sometimes find difficult to play, it does breathe a lot of new life in the same way that I was saying about doing the Nuzlocke challenge changed the game for me. The game I really love. It's just a really nice way.
You inspired me to start a Nuzlocke challenge myself.
Oh, that's right. You're doing a Nuzlocke challenge of the same generation.
Man. Pokemon Crystal,
Pokemon Crystal, which is, more or less the same game as Silver.
Yeah.
So, I think, it's a really cool way of getting into a new game. I'm not really going to talk about The Last of Us because I think people either haven't played it, in Dav's case.
You can talk about it. I kind of
know but I don't really want to, because anyone else who has played it has heard about it and has talked about it. Like, there's nothing really new to say.
Spoil it and then spoil the second one.
Oh, well, do we want to talk about the Last of Us 2 spoilers?
We're going to come on to it later.
Without spoiling anything?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later because I think we've got a whole lot of stuff to talk about there.
Yes, fine. So I'm not going to spoil it because there's not really anything else to say, but I do think that's a really cool thing you can do if you're playing a game that you really love, or there's a game that you want to go back to. A speedrun is a really cool way of doing it.
Yeah, that I still think though to this day that opening section of the game is it's some of the most affecting video game just openings that I've ever played.
It's really good storytelling.
It's the
fact that you care about characters who you've known for 10 minutes is pretty amazing. There are games that I'm not going to name any names, Uncharted 2, but here are some characters that I've been playing with for the past 3 hours and I still don't care about.
But it is interesting though, as you say, because they're the same company. And it's
the same company. It's the same. They use a lot of the same assets to recreate certain things.
Do. Saying that, personally, I do think Uncharted. We've talked about this enough, but it has dated. 2, they really, really do nail it with the story, and I think that's probably where they went, okay, we can start working with this. And but there's something we'll talk about later with regards to people working on the Uncharted series and Last of Us, which I'll come on to later, but it's basically down to like...
for the record, for anyone listening, we're not going to do any spoilers.
No.
Obviously, people are trying to avoid spoilers at the moment. And I don't think we ever will. I don't think we're ever going to be in a position where we want to sit and say, spoil something that's new. Maybe we'll spoil something from 20 years ago, and we'll tell you we're going to do it.
But even then...
I'm going to spoil Ocarina of Time like a mother effort next week, baby.
Do you think you're going to finish it by next week?
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to plow through that game.
Where are you up to at the moment?
Well, I did 2 hours
excited.
last night. I was just chilling on my sofa. It's so nice just to have a handheld.
Yeah.
See it?
There it is.
Oh, yeah. Little 2DS, the boy that could. It's just nice just to have a handheld again. A Switch is heavier, like a 2DS is like, you don't have to like put your fingers underneath it to hold it up, and then your fingers get tired and you've got to readjust it. The analog stick's a bit annoying, but yes, 2 hours in, I've just got to Hyrule Castle Village. So far, so good.
I
kind of want you to hate it a little bit.
Very minimal jank.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's relative. I mean, still though, wasn't it made in like 2011? Because did it come out with the 3DS?
Remake. Yeah, 11 sounds about right. Wait, I've got the case.
It's 2011.
I think it came out
2011.
I think it came out with the 3DS.
But they also they left in a lot of jank from the original. So like, I'm told that the programmers who worked on it and had played it when they were kids were like saying to the company, like saying to Nintendo, like, can we put some of this jank back in, because like it's what we love. Isn't that mad? But it's true, there's a few like glitches and stuff that they were like, well, we have to have that in because it's that's the game,
part of the heritage of it.
Which is kind of a nice way of looking at it. But I think probably the remake must, I mean, it takes out things like, without giving any spoilers, the item switching is sometimes a bit arduous.
Yeah, so it's now on
particularly
the second screen.
There's one in particular, but you'd want to deal with that.
Second screen now.
Second screen, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's
and
so
you've got
handy.
XY.
But let's not talk about Ocarina. That's for next week.
Yeah. Dab, what about you? What aside from Ocarina, what have you been playing? What do you want to talk about?
I've got 2 games this week.
Okay.
But I don't have much to say on either of them, really.
Cool, that's fine.
The first one came out this week. The Wonderful 101 Remastered.
Oh, how was it? Please,
I watched you do the live stream for that.
Yeah,
it looks
how
cool.
is
It's okay.
Oh no!
So it's got charm coming out of his ears. It's
Cute,
delightful.
right? It looks really
so
like
cute.
fun.
And like, there's one character in it who is like a French, really sort of Augustus Gloop, but he's French and bright green, and he's got this massive bright green coif, and he's got a gun that he's called Christine Daae from Phantom of the Opera. It's just like, none of that had to exist, and there he is. And you've got like Wonder Blue, Wonder Red, Wonder Green, Wonderful 101, as it were. And it's really, because it's a Wii U game, right? So the way you sort of battle is you have this sort of horde of little people running around, and on the Wii U you would have used your Wii U pad to draw things, and then those things would mean that you're now using a fist or a sword or a gun, or like rolling into a ball and stuff like that. Now you don't have that. You use your right analog stick, and it just just doesn't feel intuitive. And I think it probably did on the Wii U.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that must feel so awkward, especially if you are making something like, I imagine a ball is quite easy, you just go around, but like if you're making something a bit more intricate, that's
and like pain. And but then there's also like different moves you do with the buttons. So like you're there, you're like, it slows down when you do create shapes, but also like you draw a straight line for a sword, but also if you draw a straight line going up a building, on some buildings it'll create a ladder. Some places you have to put a straight line in a certain place to create a bridge, and it's just all no, I didn't want to do that. No, I didn't want to do that. And when you do stuff in a game that you didn't mean to do, there's only so much you can blame on yourself. That the game needs to have engineered itself in a way to limit those mistakes. If you're doing the correct input, the correct output should come up on the screen. Like things like Dark Souls, it's like, if I press this button, I will dodge.
Yes,
that's it. And never will
just
you not dodge.
consistency.
Yeah. You might F up in a Souls game, absolutely, but it will be your own fault. Whereas in Wonderful 101, I found myself in a couple of situations where there was like a couple of specific enemies where I was just like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I know I'm doing the right thing, but it's not coming out on the screen. But the charm of the game, I've only played maybe the first 4 hours, but I don't really see the problems that I'm having with it. I don't see them improving. I don't see how those would improve.
Yeah.
Unless they find button shortcuts, but then if they've waited until at least 4 hours in to do button shortcuts for the things with the analog stick, it's bad game design.
Yeah.
But it's so charming. It's so lovely. In many ways, it looks beautiful. Looks absolutely beautiful. Doesn't look remastered. It looks like a brand new game.
That's
really
awesome.
Beautiful. And the acting design, the voice acting is also very charming. It's got charm coming out of its ears, and it's a shame that for me, I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to.
Yeah, that is a shame, but it's the same with a lot of Wii U games as well. It was the one thing that a lot of people were saying about Mario Maker, how they could really make it as user-friendly as the original was. Again, I never played the original, I haven't played the second one, but from what I've read, just having the options on a screen in front of you and just going flicking up or whatever, that in itself makes it so much easier, whereas when you're trying to build it on a TV...
But with Mario Maker 2, they really did...
They tried it. It did
not for TV. If you've got it in your hands, it's brilliant.
Not so bad. Yeah,
it's really intuitive, and maybe Wonderful 101 does work handheld. I've not tried it yet, so maybe I was just talking on my ass.
Did you get it on the Switch?
I did get it on. It's only on. I think it's only on this. No, I'm wrong. Yeah, I've got it on the Switch.
Okay.
Yes, and maybe I'll try it handheld.
Yeah, try it handheld
tonight and see if there is a touchscreen option.
Yeah.
'Cause if there is, then I'm an idiot. But I don't really see that changing too much of my enjoyment of the game. However, Mario Maker 2 was really, really well done, and they've just added new stuff last month or maybe earlier this month that fundamentally is stuff that I wanted on day one.
Yeah,
and they've now just added it, and it's been a bit too long now since I played it to make me want to go back in.
Yeah.
I might do.
Is it worth getting? Because I don't have it. It's the one big Switch game I don't have.
Oh, if you don't have it and you want to get it, please get it, because then we can make each other levels. And
okay.
I've already got some levels made on there.
That sounds like fun.
It's a really good game. It's a really good game.
I think it's weird, and this is kind of sacrilegious in many ways, but I don't enjoy 2D platformers as much as I used to.
Really?
That's okay.
I do enjoy them, but they're not like my go-to games. To be fair, I did love Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. I thought that was amazing. I think that's one of the best 2D platformers I've ever played. But I think with Mario Maker, there was something about it. I was like, I am interested, but there was other things I wanted to buy. So maybe I will. Maybe I will go and buy it now, because I've seen it. The price. I've seen certain places knock the price down by £10. So maybe I'll grab it.
Although I did get the version with the stylus, so that did help a lot.
Okay.
A lot. And it came with graph paper, so you could when you weren't playing, you could draw. Draw some ideas down.
Cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
But in the same way, Rosie and I started playing Rayman about 2 years ago together, and we completed the game together. It was actually the first game we played together.
Is that Rayman Legends?
Yes.
Oh, Blackberry.
Yes. Yeah.
Such a good level.
Brilliant game.
Such a good level.
That I loved. I think it's just there's other games I played that are recently 2D platformers.
It's a different thing though as well when you're talking about cooperative stuff, because a big part of the enjoyment. Certainly when I played that game on my own and had some fun. But I've had way more fun when I've got 4 people on screen, it's all my friends. It's nice.
That's
a really cool game for that.
I'm playing co-op. But we're going on a huge tangent. I haven't talked about the second game yet, but I'm playing co-op Borderlands 2 with Harry, our new designer / editor. And I don't really enjoy the game at all, but playing it in co-op is making me enjoy myself.
Yeah. Well, actually, to be fair, me speaking about Fortnite, that's kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? A big part of the enjoyment comes from playing with other people. I mean,
yeah. Well, that's the same with a lot of people who play Call of Duty. I feel like a lot of people who've retained their wishes to play that game is because they're doing it with their friends. It's I don't. When I play Call of Duty recently, I played the single player mode, and then I played the multiplayer mode for maybe an hour and gone, this is nowhere near as fun. And when you're not doing it with your pals. So
we still need to do the Streets of Rage 4
Yes, we do. We do, and a couple of my friends have been asking about that to see the stream. So we should definitely.
Oh yeah.
Definitely,
Okay. Sweet.
A few of my friends have been asking about that.
We'll stream that on our page. Why not? On the Video Games Ahoy. Twitch.tv/Video Games Ahoy.
Woo!
Yeah.
But yeah, Dav, tell us about your second game. What was the
second game? Is The Outer Worlds. Not Out of Wilds.
Yes.
Which was the indie venture, sort of 3D Metroidvania, which was stunning.
Yeah.
Mind-blowing. The design of that game, incredible. Anyway, another tangent, another game. The Outer Worlds.
Yes.
Made by Obsidian. Possibly most famous for Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
And it is very much, imagine a colourful, otherworldly Fallout New Vegas, and this is what you got with The Outer Worlds. But arguably with better writing, and definitely with better shooting. Not much better, but it is better. Fallout franchise, phenomenal, renowned for its sort of slidey, splashy shooting mechanics, and you've got a bit of that, but it's a bit more refined. It does still have the sort of something similar to a VAT system, but the main selling point of The Outer Worlds, and the thing I'm really loving about 15 hours in, is the characters and the companions you have, and the way they colour your experience, and the decisions you have to make in the game. There's a decision early on. Basically, you have to go, and you're told to go and destroy this plant, and you pick up this companion, Parvati, who anyone who's played the game will know she's amazing, and she's like quite well known on the internet for being a really brilliantly written character, and a really progressively written character as well. And you get to the point where you're going to blow the thing up, and she turns to you and goes, "Now, hold on. If you blow this up, A, B, and C will happen, but you can not blow it up, and D, E, and F will happen." And it's that Witcher 3 thing of the Witcher series thing of, oh, that's a real decision. I don't know which one to do. Each of them has consequences, which you know you can't just do one then do the other. Like that will massively affect this town that you're in, and will affect your relationship with different factions. And like to be so close to pressing the button on this objective, and then to be like, oh my god, I think I pressed the button anyway, but I really had to think about it. I really had that moment of, oh god.
I just did you ever watch Dexter's Lab as a kid? I just have this really vivid imagination of Zach going, what does this, not Zach and Dav, what does this button do? Just that's all I'm imagining right now.
It's pretty much exactly that.
Anyone who's been watching me, I've been just sat like looking off screen because I was looking at my phone. I'm listening to you talk about this game, and I'm trying to work out why I haven't played this already. This sounds really good.
Yeah,
it is really good.
It's been on my radar. So I was going to get it on Switch, but then it got delayed by like 3 months.
Why have I not played this? I just thought that it was on a console I didn't have or something. Like this sounds awesome. How does it compare to the modern Fallout series? Obviously there will be comparisons to New Vegas, but I mean with Fallout 4 and Fallout 76.
So I've not played Fallout 76 for obvious reasons, because it was garbage when it came out, and I just don't have no interest to go into it now. It's supposed to be a bit better.
I've not heard anything good.
Yeah, I've not heard anything good.
I've heard it's not too awful after the latest update. However, Fallout 4, I put about 60, 70 hours into that game.
Yeah, me too.
I pretty much did all the quests. And 12 to 15 hours into the Outer Worlds. I always get them wrong. The Outer Worlds. And, blows it out the water. As far as storytelling and character development.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I liked Fallout 4, but I had a lot of qualms with it, Like, there's a lot of like stuff that I just couldn't be bothered to do. It's another one of these cases of like, I can't be bothered. I've got other things I'd rather be doing. And I have a feeling, I've had a feeling actually about Outer Worlds. What is it?
No, you're just disappearing off the screen. It's really funny.
Looking out the window for
in this podcast, man, I sit in the most uncomfortable positions, so I just can never get comfy.
But Dav, it's funny you mentioned earlier looking up how long a game is. I actually looked at. I'm not gonna. Do you want me to tell you how long that game? So I looked up that game. And I was surprised at how long it is. I was like, oh, that's maybe a good thing, because in the same way you guys are just saying about Fallout 4, sometimes there was like a lot of stuff happening where it was just kind of pointless or boring. From what I've read about that game,
it's only about 30 to 40 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like it's got a lot of depth to it, a lot of density. Which is the kind of thing that people who love The Witcher 3 haven't played it. Say about that game is that although it is big, it's almost like every building in that game has a story of its own that will last a couple hours. And it's not quite to that degree. It's not a 100-hour game.
Yeah.
But it feels dense. Every town feels like you've got several real characters in there, who have their own little journey that you can go on with, and you've got different companions, and they've all got different abilities, and you've got perks, and you've got a lot of the Fallout-esque thing of like, I've got some 10 skill points to put on different parts on like my persuasion and all the rest of it, and you've got different, so there is a lot of that Fallout DNA in there. But Obsidian, who is now, it's probably why you thought it was just on one, because Obsidian are now an Xbox game studio, but they were bought before the game came out, but because the game was already in development, Xbox were like, yo dudes, it's fine, release it.
Okay, so I must have just had it in my head that it was an Xbox exclusive or something.
It's on Game Pass.
To be fair, Xbox getting them, that's a good
big get.
win, yeah.
But yeah, really had a lot of fun. Having a lot of fun.
That's great.
We'll continue hopefully to have fun with that.
Yeah.
And enjoying it.
That's great. That's really great to hear, man, because I have been looking at that for a while, because it was nominated for Game of the Year, the Game Awards.
I think so, yeah.
It was one of the games up for the award, and it was, I mean, technically, it's an indie studio. Technically, I think someone was saying. Obsidian at the time.
Yeah, indie these days means knows what that means,
Yeah, but I've only heard good things about it. Every time I've seen people talking about it, it's like they just said how much they've enjoyed it. Some people say it's not as long as they wish for. Some people, like you guys, saying, that's actually probably a perfect length.
I was gonna say, if the worst thing you can say about a game is it's not long enough, like,
yeah, exactly,
it's probably a pretty good game. And 30 hours odds, even 30 hours, I think you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah, well, Final Fantasy VII, the remake was. I only played it for about 35 hours, and I said that was probably too long. I said that was probably for me. I thought that was about 5 hours too long. So, yeah, that's awesome. I'm actually really glad to hear that, because I'm definitely going to pick that up, probably on Switch. Well, maybe not.
It's
now.
on Game Pass.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe not now, because the only reason why I was going to buy it on Switch is because I usually bought some third-party games because I travel a lot, but I'm just sitting in my living room at the moment, so I might as well just play it here.
Okay, so what have you been playing this week?
Well, actually, funny I should talk about the Switch. I've like I told you guys earlier, I've been doing a lot of singing this week, so I haven't had as much time to play anything new. But there was one game I've been dipping into, and Animal Crossing stopped me from playing it because it came out just as I was getting back into the DLC.
Just imagine Tom Nook going, "Yo, bro, pay me my loan. You're not playing any other game. Give me my loan.
That's
then
exactly.
Then you can go."
That's exactly what I'm imagining. I'm imagining going back into Animal Crossing, because I haven't probably played it for about 5 days.
It's been a couple of days to me as well.
I'm just expecting there to be like weeds everywhere, people raging, everyone leaving.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so much anxiety.
Yes, it's so exciting. It's like
don't make me
when you
go
guys
back.
are too stressed over a cute little game about animals.
It's so stressful.
You don't know.
You don't know.
Do not speak about what you don't know.
I don't know.
But
although I was updated a little bit, because also shout out to your streaming channel, because I got to catch up with you playing some Animal Crossing and got a little bit of an idea of the market value of turnips.
Oh yeah. You head over to twitch.tv/davplaystuff and you'll see me stressing about turnips.
See, I was gonna put the name, but I feel like I was gonna get it wrong, and then it's forever on the podcast.
Dav
I
buys
thought I was gonna get it wrong
turnips
as I was saying it. Dav buys twitch.tv/Dav buys turnips.
But so the game I've been playing is Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now, so have you, so Dav,
the expansion.
The expansion pass. So
I've not played the expansions yet.
So I won't talk about it too much, just because the one thing I love about those games, I've only played one. This is the very first time I've played Fire Emblem, but from what I've read about it, the one thing about those games is the story. The story is always just so tight and so strong, and it's graphically it's not so great every now and then, that's not what the intention of the game is. The game's not about look how amazing it is, and the style is great. I love the style. I think
cutscenes are lovely.
Cutscenes are great. the cutscenes at the start of the game in particular I just think are gorgeous, and in fact I'll talk about a bit about this later on, but the opening cutscene was the reason why Rosie ended up buying her own Switch and playing Fire Emblem. Because she saw that and she looked, and then she saw the opening battle and she was like, because we've just been playing Mario and Rabbids, so it's very
Sure, so
it's not yeah, so tactical, moving people around, getting people to fight.
Mario Rabbids.
It's such a great game, and you anyone who hasn't played Mario and Rabbids, by the way, this is very quick. It's often only £10 on the Switch. Do us all a favor and buy that game. It is so good. It's so worth the money.
It's one of the best games on the Switch.
It really, really is. It's so charming. As we talked about charm earlier, it's got charm kind of coming out of its butt.
Coming out of its rabbit ears.
Yeah. But yeah, Fire Emblem is, considering it's the first game I've ever played in the series, I'm blown away by it. I'm sold. I'm going to buy every single game that comes out for it. In fact, I want to buy a 2DS so I can play Awakening. Is it Awakening?
You've got Awakening, you've got Fates, you've got Echo, Shadow of Valentia.
So those, I want to go back and buy and play those. And same with Rosie as well, because we've both just fallen in love with the series. I mean, I think I showed you this before, but it's Blue Lions. I mean, to be fair, I never chose those. But Rosie did, and Rosie's played the game 3 times all the way through, and
have we introduced who Rosie is?
Rosie's my fiance.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, Rosie's my fiance. The people who are listening probably know. If you don't know, she's my fiance. She loves Fire Emblem. That's kind of, that's it, really.
That's the whole.
That's her personality. That's it. That's all of her personality. She doesn't say anything to me. She just plays Fire Emblem, and that's it.
She likes tactical turn-based role-playing games. Yeah. That's enough of a reason to propose to anyone.
But see, she we both fell in love with the game just watching that opening cutscene, and like I said, she ended up buying her own Switch because she was in love with it. I love the stories. I love how it can be the characters can be as in depth as you want it to be. The story can be as in depth as you want it to be, and I love as well because there are essentially 4 paths. I don't know if you played it, Zach, or know much about it, I should say, but essentially 4 paths you can choose from. And what's really good is that every time you pick a path, essentially what you're doing is you are guiding your leader into more of the I'd say the good side. But it's still not always good. Like I play with Edelgard, the Black Eagles. I played as that was the first one I played as, the first route. Then I played the Golden Deer, which I also loved as well. But I'm replaying the Black Eagles, which I won't get into, but there's a reason why I'm replaying the Black Eagles. But yeah, and it's I love how both those times I've played, the villain is different both times, obviously, but they're painted differently as well, because you're looking at it through one specific side. You're looking at it through bias. There is an issue there that like you morality is not. It's not structured, it's not the same thing when you're looking at it from different people's eyes, and I think they do an amazing job of that, and that's something I absolutely love with those games, especially because like me and Rosie will be talking to the game, she's playing it, like I said, the Blue Lions, I'm playing the Black Eagles, and she'll be saying, oh, this person did this, and I'll be like, yeah, but they did it because of this, and it's like, I love that. I think the fact that it has 4 routes and you can put 200 hours into the game if you want to. I mean, the game, you can do a one route in like 40 hours and then leave it, but it has the option to spend 200 hours in the game, and I quite like that, because you get to choose whether you want to put your time and effort into it.
How worth it do you think it is? Like, how, for a general user, like, let's imagine you've enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
It's not, obviously you're a bit of a fan at this point, like you've really enjoyed it and stuff. Yeah. But like, what situation do you think sort of warrants going back and doing it again? Is it only for like the hardcore fans, or is it like more of a?
I mean, well, like I said, I wasn't a fan. I mean, to be fair, I am a fan of tactical games in general. So I was always as soon as I saw the gameplay, I was always kind of like, yeah, okay, this is something I can buy into quite easily. But yeah. For me personally, I wasn't a fan. I knew about the game. The only thing I really knew about it beyond that was the music, and I always knew the music was amazing, which it is again in this game. But I went back because you find out more things. You find out backstories you didn't know the first time, because you're finding out other people's perspectives, which is just, again, so interesting. And because I'm not going to bother playing the Blue Lions, because Rosie's played it 3 times. She's explained everything to me. I'm like, okay, I don't need to play that. I don't need to play that route. I played the other 2 routes, and I'm playing through another route as well. So like, yeah, it's for me, I love it. And one thing I actually read the other day, and something I'll talk about later, is the best-selling game in the series, which is really great to hear.
That's cool.
It's
it helps that it's on the Switch.
That is obviously the big thing. It's on the Switch, so people are going to buy it because they see it and go, wow, this is something I'm interested in.
But then saying that, the DS sold, 100 million units?
That's true. And the 3DS is at 75?
3DS 75 million, yeah. And Fire Emblem Awakening at the time was the best-selling Fire Emblem game.
Yeah, it's I think it's just shy of 3 million. When it is a niche game. Not everyone likes tactical games, and not everyone likes SRPGs as well. So
Incorrectly.
Yes, I also agree. But no, I love that game so much. I'm playing through the DLC as well. I think they did a great job with the DLC. They added 4 new characters, and again, you have to explore so much about their backstories. I love it, man. I think I'm hooked completely.
At what point in the game does the expansion start to happen?
So the issue is that I started playing the DLC like 3 months ago, and I'm only now just finishing it because Animal Crossing came out, and I just put it down for like a month. But from what I can remember, so what you do is you play through the DLC as a separate entity to the game, and then when you go back into your game, you go back to the start, and when you start from the beginning, they're just there. So it's kind of, you just know that they're in the game. So you can just play it on its own and then leave it. So
in theory, could you, like, because I don't know, I'm probably 40 hours in, but I still haven't had the step forward.
All right, okay, yeah.
Would you say it's worth doing the DLC and then starting again, or carrying on as I am?
Well, to give you an example, all 4 of the new characters are in my team. And your team is usually roughly about 10 people. Yeah. So all 4 of them are in my team.
So you like them?
Well, there is an element of that, but also, I mean, I've played with almost everyone. I've persuaded every single person in the opposition sides to be in my team, so that I don't kill them. Because I will. No, no.
Just to see what happens to them at the end.
Yeah, because again, each person has an individual. Like, they all have conversations. They all have links with each other. And
that's the thing, Zach. With this game, right? Every character has a story, and very few of them are a side character.
Yeah, and very few of them.
If someone dies, are they dead?
Well, there's 2 different versions you can play. There's the classic version where if they die in battle, that's it. You've lost them. That is it. And then there's it is essentially that, and then there's a newer version as well, which means they're just out of the battle. You've lost them for the battle, but they come back. But yeah, I love the series. I've got my Wii. I'm so tempted to go back and buy the GameCube game, to buy the Wii game, and
Path of Radiance, Radiant Dawn.
I've heard so many good things about them, but I've heard they are quite hard as well. But yeah,
well, I was going to say you've done a very good job of selling.
But yeah,
sorry.
All I was going to say is if anyone's got for me, if anyone has a Switch and they like tactical games, I would be shocked if they didn't like it, because there's just so much there. Because even if you don't like the stories, even if you don't like the fact that you've got to train and build everyone else up, you can skip those things and just play the game. For me, if I could ask for one thing, if you could do like a custom battle thing where you just come to the opening screen, you just press custom battle, you just pick your squad, and then you just do random battles. You can do that on normal, because on normal mode you can play as many battles as you want, but as soon as you go into hard, you can only do 3 battles and that's it. I would get so much more from that game if there was just that option to just go, yeah, I want to play a battle against the hardest people in the game. I've completed the game, so I should be able to just pick people and add them in. I think that would be amazing, but even still, I love the game. I think it's amazing. But yeah, Dav, you've completed the game, or are you still? Oh, you still not completed? Okay, yeah, I'll probably park it there then, because I don't want to say too much about the story or even anything about the story, because I just think it's so.
I haven't even got to the time jump yet.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's you got some good stuff. You got some good stuff to come. You are the Black Eagle?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Edelgard.
Yes.
Edelgard?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. The thing is, every time I play it, all that happens is because I've got a game cartridge, all that happens is that Rosie sees me playing it and goes, I want to play. That's all that happens. I'm playing it and she instantly wants to play it again. But yeah, totally recommend it if you have a Switch. Let's park that there. Let's move on, because we've only got about 10 minutes left. So we're going to talk. I'm not going to give you guys a question this week. We're just going to talk generally about stuff that's been happening over the last week or so, because I feel like there's been some huge things we need to talk about, specifically leaks. And even more specifically, I think the biggest of the 2 leaks that we're going to talk about is The Last of Us 2. If you don't know,
in your opinion,
in my opinion, I mean, we're not going to go in depth about.
I just realised I've still got my Last of Us background.
Well, it's perfect. Yeah, leave it.
Perfect. Well, I picked out a nice Last of Us 2 one to go for this.
Oh man, if you've got it, you
is it a screenshot of the spoilers?
Yeah, just every single one. Every single one, yeah.
All
this happens
die.
here. Yeah.
I don't know what the spoilers are. I have avoided them.
I avoided them.
I'm not going to say anything about what the spoilers are. I'm just going to say what I've written a list down earlier that I'll read out now. So basically, some of the story, gameplay, and secrets are shared across the internet last week, and it's insane. Early on, people thought it was a disgruntled employee. And one thing I was going to talk about earlier is that Naughty Dog do have a really bad reputation in the games industry with regards to crunch. If you don't know what crunch is, it's essentially forcing the staff to work a ridiculous amount of hours, on average around 80 hours a week, sometimes over 100, and it's a big issue with a lot of video game companies.
And it's not always literally forcing them; it's sort of psychologically pushing them into a corner where they feel like they can't say no. So
I think I haven't got the figures in front of me, but I remember reading I think it was like 2 days ago, someone was saying in an article, Kotaku was saying that 14 out of like 20 animators for The Last of Us Uncharted 4 straight up quit because of the crunch from that game. Just straight up said when that game was finished, they just left. Yeah. Which is not good. It's not, and it is a big thing, particularly with I've noticed with PlayStation games. I could be pointing the finger too much because I know Red Dead Redemption was one as well, and that's obviously multi-platform. But it's a big issue. It's a big issue in the video game industry, industry wide. Yeah. So basically, well, I'll read it this out. There's a quote from Games Radar with an article written by a man called Ben Tyra, which says, in layperson's terms, each Naughty Dog game reportedly contained a key that can access the developer's server. This is how it was exploited. This was exploited by hackers who were then able to copy items of The Last of Us 2's development server, which apparently included the game footage that has since leaked. There's a Twitter thread by a guy called Pixel Butts, which I think is amazing. Like, this is such a serious thing, and like someone on Twitter, Pixel Butts, he's laid it all out, so you can go read that if you want. But essentially, hackers, which is crazy to think. Apparently, there was a loophole in, from what I've read, like February. Naughty Dog knew it, they didn't fix it, and they went back and took a load of assets, load of videos and gameplay and stuff, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, I just want to get your guys' thoughts on what you think about, I guess, that current situation.
For me, it's the first time where I've really felt like sort of sad about something like that. Because normally, like, leaks, to be honest, there's not that many games that I'm really going to be disappointed about in so much as, like, first of all, it would have to be a game particularly with a story element, because I think a story spoiler is bigger really than anything, because it can kind of, that's why it's called spoiling, because it spoils the journey that you're on. And also, it's, for me, it's a game that I, as you can see, love so much. Or I'm so excited about, it might, even if it turns out to be rubbish and, it's not as good as anyone wants, I'm still going to enjoy something about it, I'm sure. And I guess I'm glad to hear that it's not a disgruntled employee. But, as we said, like, it's an industry-wide problem, this crunch thing. And, if it would be difficult to blame anyone in that situation, even if it were the case. But it is a shame that hackers have. I don't really see who that benefits. Really, it seems like just a sad thing to do. I don't mean sad like, oh, you're so sad. I mean like genuinely like, I feel unhappy about that. I'm same as you, man. You guys really have the same same sort of connection with it or feelings about the thing, but
well, that's what I was going to say, Dav, as someone that didn't play the original game, so I guess doesn't have the emotional attachment that me and Zach both do, having loved the first game. How do you feel about, I mean, leaks in general, but also because you can take us onto the second leak if you'd like as well.
Sure. It is a shame. It's a big shame, and it makes you wonder why people bother doing it. There's a certain, people just want to be seen, I think, sometimes. Yeah. And when people have certain skills and they don't know how to apply them, they find ways to mess up other people's lives. Yeah. And ruin people's jobs. You know, there's going to be people at Naughty Dog who maybe were supposed to be responsible for making sure that couldn't happen. And granted, now it has happened. Hopefully, they'll find a better way to secure their servers to prevent this happening again. And maybe they'll share that with the rest of the industry.
Yeah.
Making it better and harder. But there's only so long until the next person hacks the next thing.
But, it is crazy how they did it though. Like specifically, how they did it.
It's
like,
out of a film. It's out of a sci-fi film.
So crazy.
Like, going through one of the old Naughty Dog games.
Yeah.
What was it, like Uncharted 3
I think it was Uncharted 4. Let me go back.
Uncharted 4, the multiplayer servers or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, contain the key. So basically, there was each Naughty Dog game reportedly contained a key that can access the developer's server. So someone got a copy of a Naughty Dog game and just accessed the server.
And it's crazy. And another side of it is that now Sony, through an agency, have started locking down and taking down videos on YouTube that discuss them. And then when they released the most recent trailer for The Last of Us 2 the other day, they blocked all comments and likes and dislikes for it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Probably to prevent people from spoiling it there as well.
Yeah.
So people can just watch it and not have it spoil. But it's creating a whole odd environment around the game, which by the end of it will probably only increase sales. I don't think Sony will come out hurt
I think so.
by this.
I mean, from what I've read as well, the people who actually know, like who've had things spoiled for them, because it's on things like Resetera as well, 4chan and stuff like that. So I think for people like me and Zach who don't probably, I imagine you don't go on those websites, Zach. I don't.
I have avoided the spoilers.
Yeah, so
in fact, you were the one that told me that it happened. So I got this text from Jonny, and I was just like, immediately, I was like, "Oh, lock everything down.
Yeah,
don't look at anything."
So I went straight on Twitter, and I was like, right, blocking the use of these words from now.
That's smart.
Yeah. So every time I go on Twitter,
that is a really good idea.
Every time I go on Twitter, they're all blocked.
Well, and I've been watching this live stream, the live stream of this guy doing speed runs, and this poor guy's had people like get in touch with him to give him spoilers directly, and he's done the same. He's been like blocking all comments and stuff because it
sucks, like, doesn't it? Like,
it sucks.
Just let people enjoy things.
Seriously.
Man, I don't get it.
But
you're right. I don't think it's going to hurt sales, really, is it?
No. Like that said, I don't think
even if I got the spoilers, I'm still going to play it. Like.
Yeah, and maybe more people will play it.
And more people will play it because they'll be excited about.
Interested if they go, because what's all this hubbub?
Because the one thing I will say, the entire game isn't spoiled. So there is still an element of, okay, well, this might happen, but where does it happen? It could happen at the start of the game, and it's not. And
also, you can't spoil the gameplay. You know what I mean? You can still play the game for the first time, and it will still be its own thing.
But
can Naughty Dog ever spoil gameplay?
What was
Uncharted 1, for instance?
They did that themselves, But
I was going to.
There was another leak this week.
There was.
Well, recently anyway.
And quite spoiler free, this one, because it's all about old games, which is probably why I didn't get quite as much coverage.
Yeah.
But Nintendo, biggest leak in Nintendo history, you could say. Through a company that they hired to help them in the Wii era. They basically had a backdoor that someone went through technologically, and there he is with a whistle, and found basically all information ever about all Nintendo consoles and games ever.
So, Dav, I've got a quote. If you want me to read it out, I'll go
Please,
on that straight away.
It'll be more eloquent than me.
So Andy Robertson of Video Games Chronicles wrote, according to various sources archived on Resetera and Reddit. Is it Resetera or Resetera? I have no idea. Anyway, on Reddit, over 2 terabytes of data was allegedly leaked onto the anonymous forum of 4chan over the weekend, including the original source code for Nintendo 64, GameCube, and Wii. The leaks also reportedly contain internal documentation related to GameCube, Nintendo DS, Nintendo 64, Wii, and the China-only IQ, showing how the systems work and the development processes behind them. In theory, it's to create illegal clone hardware, able to run software and operate like the original systems. So, to create ROMs, essentially.
Yeah. So now...
everything Nintendo hates.
Yeah, I mean, they already hate ROM culture and everything about it, and preservation of gaming history. But now, this is kind of this weird grey area. So like something like Project Dolphin, for instance, which is
Yeah.
an emulator for GameCube and Wii, they purposely don't touch any assets that come from Nintendo, built their own from the ground up, right? And they fully publicly document everything that they do, all the coding that they do. They publicly document it so that they're trying to distance themselves from any kind of legal grey area.
Yeah.
But now this would anything you use out of this is legally weird. But instead of creating something that emulates it, you're getting an N64 in terms of software.
Yep.
And you could put that in a PC, and so people have taken like Super Mario 64 and they've put it into a PC build.
Yeah.
And now they can like do like a 4K widescreen version of Super Mario 64, which obviously Nintendo's not going to like because of the rumored remake that's coming later this year. But or probably next year now. But it's crazy that such a huge amount has been leaked, and things about games that never came out, such as Zach, you'll like this, a rumored Pokemon Pink.
What? What is that? Pokemon Pink.
Again, anyone who's listening will not realize that Zach just pulled the best face. It was just pure shock.
So, I mean, it's not shocking because obviously we've had Pokemon Yellow and Silver and Ruby.
Well, it was going to be alongside Pokemon Yellow, but with Jigglypuff.
Oh.
No one asks for these things, Nintendo. No one asks.
Well, we didn't get it, but also they showed like beta versions of like different Pokemon, like and different Pokemon that changed by the time they were re-released.
You're talking about as in Pokemon. It was supposed to come out in like 1999.
Yes.
Right, I thought you meant like it was going to be like a Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go era of games, and I was like, really? Do we need more of that?
Another one, yeah.
No, back in 1990, whatever, it was going to be
right. Okay, that's
Pokemon Pink, and they showed like there's like character models of like 200 Pokemon that the original ones were going to have, and like old models for like Dunsparce and other Pokemon, and it's pretty crazy. Like
it is insane.
Like, an N64 version of Mother 3 that never happened, and we haven't even got Mother 3 over here in the West. And loads of just crazy stuff. And people are digging out more and more and more as we go.
Yeah. Well, 2 terabytes of data, that is
considerable.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not exactly 2 terabytes now is like 20 games or something.
Yeah,
but 2 terabytes over the course of the last 20 years. I mean, that's
every console up to the Wii.
Yeah,
except for the Satellaview. Every other console, they've got the source code for now.
Wow.
It's mental.
We'll park that there because I think we've got some more, I guess, uplifting news to end. Guys, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 are being remastered.
Yes.
So funny enough, I was actually talking to one of my friends about this, who's actually a Patreon patron. So we were talking about. I used to go over his house as a kid, and we'd play those games all the time, specifically until Goldfinger as Superman came on, and we couldn't stop playing it until that song played.
Yes, best song ever.
It's the best song ever, but also on the game. And
speaking of which, that band actually just recently re-released that song.
Yeah, I saw they played it at home, didn't they? They did a home version on Facebook. Yeah, definitely check it out.
I wonder if that'll go on the.
It's on. It is. So it's on the soundtrack. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so excited because like those games were like my childhood.
And apparently, I'm told they're going to add manuals and reverts. Am I right in that?
Yeah. So they're adding stuff that came from 3, and because Tony Hawk's involved in it because they did an interview after the reveal, and they were talking about things that they're taking from later games. Like the reverts, and he's like, I don't want this game to happen unless we get the reverts from Tony Hawk's 3 and bring it back into these ones. So yeah, and it looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it does.
It does look really nice to see.
They
one
put
of those
side by
games
side as well.
It's very pretty. I'm very excited about
They did
that.
a side by side just aspect for both the old game and the remastered game, and my god, you can see it's the same game, like it came from the same game, but it looks so much better. Zach's disappeared.
Haha, unlucky. Punk, we're going to keep talking about it. You've got levels like the school and the warehouse, like such iconic. And I just want to be on a skateboard, going around as Bob Burnquist.
He's back.
Hey, Zach lives. and I want to go around in the warehouse, and I want to do the jump where you go up one half pipe through the window thing, smash the glass, get the secret tape, come back down the other half pipe, and then you can go back up the ramp that you first came up, and there's the extra things. Oh my god! I want it so bad.
I'm so excited for that game.
It comes in
It's gonna be
September.
great.
Yeah.
And the thing is, by September, hopefully, we'll be out of lockdown.
We can go skateboarding.
We can go actually skateboarding, which we're all going to do, right, guys?
Yes.
Give me that virtual skateboarding in my mouth, in my eyes, in my ears.
Give it to me, injected, hook it to my veins, as Barney
Mate,
would say.
and like, I know we've not got long left, but I just want to quickly... Summer Games Fest, so far so good, right?
Yeah, it's been great.
Like, earlier on we watched the Unreal Engine 5 announcement.
Epic Games, is it?
Epic Games, yeah. Oh my
Looked amazing. It looks so good.
Looks beautiful.
It's just so smooth as well. I think that's something I'm really... Oh my god. Yeah, if you haven't seen that as well, please check that out. It was so good watching that earlier. Guys, we haven't got long left, so I'm going to come on to the final point. And it's basically, again, really, really positive, and I think it, again, really showcases how incredible the Switch has been. The Switch released the year-on-year financials, and yeah, they sold 21 million Switches up to the end of March, I believe, making the Switch their lifetime sales at 55.7 million, which is incredible when you consider that it's only been out for 3 years. 3 years has been out, and it's already at 55 million. So for me, I'm pretty convinced that it's going to break, especially if they bring out a Switch Pro, it's going to break 100 million. But I think it's going to do it anyway. Some of the games, I'll just throw some numbers at you very quickly. Mario Kart 8.
I was going to say,
you go.
Guess.
Oh no, I was just. This is not in any real order.
Okay.
But okay, actually, that's a good idea. What I'll do is I'll read all the games out, and you tell me a rough ballpark.
Do a higher or lower.
Okay. So as in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, we'll start. Where do you think that was? What do you think? How many units do you think that sold?
Than the number
Just
of
Deluxe,
Switches.
and there's been 55 Switches. I'm going to say 30 million.
30 million. Okay, Zach, what about you? How many do you think it sold?
I feel you might be right, so I'm going to say.
I think we've lost
I think we lost Zach again.
Oh no, I'm here.
What?
I'm here.
Oh, he's here.
Oh.
I want to say the same, but I'm going to say, just to do prices right, I'm going to say 29 million.
Okay, well, it's 24.77.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. But
do you know what? I was going to say 25 after that, so I feel
it's the second best-selling game in the series, and if you actually include Mario Kart 8, it probably from the original Wii U, which I think sold about 8 million units or 5 million, something around that. It might even be that base game might actually be the best-selling Mario Kart game. It's amazing. I do love that game. I put about 90 hours into that game. It's amazing. Okay, let's go with. I'll just read these randomly. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. What do you think that is? How many do you think that sold?
10 million.
10 million. 10 million. Zach said 10.
It's probably not as much as that, actually.
7.
Yeah.
7. 11.97 million.
Wow.
Yeah, because there was in Japan specifically, they combined them as one game. Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Like
combined?
5.
Yeah, again combined. So you think Pokemon Sword and Shield sold 5 million? Okay.
Maybe
15.
17.37 million.
Wow.
It came out in November, right?
More than Let's Go.
Which
I'm
is
actually surprised. I don't know
the
why.
Switch for you. This is the crazy one. Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Oh, you told us this one.
More or less than Pokemon.
It's a lot, though, right? Like
it's been out for
a month and a half.
Was it 11?
Well, by the end of this, what's the figure on these? End of March.
So it's still
6 days.
It's still a little bit more. Than what it actually is. I think it's the end of April. Actually, it's the end of April.
Okay.
So I think it's.
I'm going to say 15 million.
Okay, Zach.
I'm going to say 11 because I feel like that's what you told us when you told us it.
Well, according to this, for their financials, it was 11.77 million, but actually it's at 13.4 million now, which is because they released a thing saying within like the week they'd sold another 2 million, which is just ridiculous.
That's
crazy. So 13.4, 15 wins.
Yeah. Splatoon 2.
I'm going to say crack 10. I'm going to say 10.
10?
I think 12.
12. It was 10. It was 10.
Was it bang on 10? Wow.
It was 10. 10.13. This is the crazy one. Okay, so here we go. Breath of the Wild. What do you think Breath of the Wild's at?
Come on, this has got to be pretty close to the number of Switches sold. There was a time when the Switch was just a Breath of the Wild machine.
Just Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart.
I reckon 30.
Yeah. Well, the first two games I got were Mario Kart and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So what do you think? How many do you think the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sold?
I'm going to say 36.
28 million.
28 million, Zach?
36?
I love how, if you're
I
watching
think
this,
Zach did say, but we can't hear him.
we'll give it 5 seconds and then we'll let him
5,
come back.
4, 3, 2, 1.
36.
How many?
It was 17.41.
Oh my
What?
gosh.
Yeah. It's still the best. It's still the
Best-selling Zelda ever.
best-selling Zelda game of all time. Super Mario Odyssey, more or less.
Less.
60, 18.
13.
It actually, so Breath of the Wild sold 17.41 million. Super Mario Odyssey 17.41 million. They're exact. They were so close they couldn't actually separate them. They sold almost the exact amount, which is insane.
That's nuts.
Let's just do a few more. We've done Splatoon 2, Animal Crossing. Let's do. Okay, this is the crazy one. Super Mario Party. Considering they've added nothing to that game since it came out, how many do you think it sold?
9 million.
I think Zach's either taking his time or he's frozen again.
4
How
million?
many is it?
It's 10.
10.
10 million.
That's pretty good. How have they not added anything to that?
It's crazy. It's so crazy, man.
How hard is it to just make a mini game?
We'll just
Add a minigame.
there's a few there's only like 4 boards as well, which is crazy. I'll just run through a few things before we finish. Like I said, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has outsold Mario Kart DS and is now the second best-selling game in the series. Pokemon Sword and Shield is the third best-selling game in the franchise. Animal Crossing's New Horizons is now the best-selling game in the series. It is also the fastest-selling Nintendo Switch game of all time, exceeding the launch sales of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Luigi's Mansion 3, Mario Party, and as I said earlier, Fire Emblem Three Houses, all of their best-selling game in their respective series on the Switch.
Wow.
That tells you how insane the Switch has been. To go from the Wii U to the Switch has been insane. Gents, that is the end of podcast number 4. Thank you very much for listening today. If you have enjoyed the show, please follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Patreon. And tell your friends. It would mean the world to us, I think.
Also,
Yeah,
it
cool.
would. And leave some, if you're on the podcasts and whatever, please leave some reviews, 5-star reviews, if you think it's 5 stars.
If it's worth 5 stars.
That will,
I'm a 5-star man!
That will increase, I don't know where that's from, that will increase our
it's sunny in
visibility
Philadelphia.
and more people will
Please do.
hopefully
That'd
find
great.
us.
And as ever, please stay safe. We're really, really grateful you all listening to us and sharing the podcast. Really appreciate it so much. This is Jonathan, Dab, and Zach from Video Games Ahoy, and we'll see you next week. Ahoy!